Hey guys, this is Tyler here. It is September 27th, and I'm just going to explain why it's great to have day-to-day routines as a MGTOW guy. Okay, so I live in Eastern Europe. I've been living here for the past year and a half. I've lived in Russia also, and now I live in Estonia. What I found is after I left the workplace, I had a day job for some time. I sometimes had a difficult time maintaining day-to-day routines and just getting my work done, which is really important if you're living abroad. And I also noticed it affected me psychologically quite a bit. Like for the first 6 months after I left the workforce, there was a lot of transitions taking place, and I would be working pretty hard for a month or two, and then I would basically be taking it easy for a month or something, and then it was kind of on and off, where I'd be on hard for a week and then off for a couple weeks, something like that. And that was also actually the same for my YouTube channel. I had a really difficult time, honestly, maintaining a level of consistency necessary to be professional with what I was doing. That was also true with my other day job that I do and my other business also. It was very difficult, honestly, for me to be at the level I wanted to. Now, keep in mind, from the point I finished university in 2015 until the end of 2018, work-wise in my day job and like doing other things like exercise and day-to-day routines, I was good with. But unfortunately, with pursuing side businesses and hobbies that could become businesses at the time, I was very poor at, and I would do it for like a day, a couple days, and then just stop. Or do it for a few weeks and then stop. This was often my routine, and I just had a really difficult time maintaining consistency. I actually had a coffee YouTube channel I started like 3 years ago, and I would upload a video, and then I would be like a month or so later, and then upload another video, and I wouldn't actually learn anything about video editing and how to properly do a video so that it appealed to people, and this was really a problem. And so I had part of my professional life covered for like 3.5 years, and then the other part I did not have covered. I was just kind of winging it, you might say, which is unfortunate because that's one of the reasons why I didn't make a lot of headway for the first part of my 20s with businesses or potential businesses, projects that I was pursuing at the time. They kind of just didn't get anywhere. Now, when I got to a point though, when I was done working for my company, I needed to make something work. That was the difference. So when I started doing entrepreneurial work on my own, and I started doing videography work and other projects, professional projects, there was a need that this had to be done. And for that reason, I had to maintain a very high level of consistency and output with what I was doing, which ultimately required me that I had to set very, very good routines day to day, at least 5 or 6 days a week. I needed to maintain very good routines, which for anyone that's self-employed here can be very challenging. It's very difficult sometimes actually maintaining these weekly routines. You don't realize it often until you don't work for someone else, and then you have to take charge of these tasks yourself. And that was my situation, which over time, as I made a couple career transitions in the past year and a half, I've been able to pretty much do by this point. I've been able to balance both my personal life and then professional / business life together. What that entailed me though is that I had to set basically routines. Once you do something over time, it becomes easier. When I decided I was going to pursue a YouTube career full time, I knew that I needed to maintain routine, and that was done last July, over a year ago. I was like, okay, I gotta stick to this at least 2 or 3 days a week initially, and then it became more like 5 or 6 days a week that I was going to be doing, whether it was producing videos, it was editing, it was business related work with video production. I needed to maintain consistency, just as I was maintaining consistency with other professional aspects of my life. Once you set those routines too, you're both more consistent, and you actually feel a little less stressed in some ways, because it's more, I guess you could say, compartmentalized, and you just know it needs to be done every day. Get it done, and you don't think about it. It becomes second nature also. It doesn't require you to expend as much energy. As it becomes more second nature, you become just more used to it. I remember when I was starting my video editing last year, I had switched the software I was using. I needed to learn how to use professional editing software, and initially it was really challenging, honestly. And I just, for the first 2 or 3 months, I really didn't like to, but I had to make myself learn how everything worked, and how like colors work and many other aspects of production. I eventually got to a point where it became more comfortable. Obviously, I'm not professional yet. There's still many things I have to learn, but I have improved a lot from where I started at. And this is exactly the same with my other professional work that I do, whether it's my day trading that I do or the day trading based business that I'm also working on at the moment. This is work that I have to do consistently, day in and day out. It just needs to be done. In some days, it's a lot easier getting it done than other days. Some days you don't want to do it. I mean, it's like, it feels like something you just have to do, but you don't want to do it. Other days, it's easy. You want to do it. Oddly enough, sometimes when it's not as nice outside weather-wise, I have more desire and inclination to do it. Whereas if it's really nice outside like today, I sometimes have less desire and interest in getting this work done, but I know that I have to get it done because it's an obligation. As I stated before, once you become more consistent, it does become easier, and you also are able to get tasks done faster and just get through more parts of your day. When you're self-employed too, you learn how to better automate tasks and how to get things done quicker, just ways of being more efficient ultimately. That's what it really boils down to. You have to learn how to be very efficient with your time and being very on time, not procrastinating at all. You want to be doing work in a way that's consistent, productive, and effective. Truly enough too, psychologically, people often who maintain these routines actually feel better. They are more positive and tend to just be happier. It's kind of an interesting psychological study because often people who either procrastinate often, who aren't very productive, that work for themselves often actually have a lot of mental, psychological problems. People who are self-employed or who are entrepreneurs actually who maintain more consistency, these people actually tend to be more positive and just feel better about themselves. Has been shown. And when you know the work you have to get done day in and day out also, you can't think and ponder about negative things as much and about more trivial matters. You know that you have to get the important tasks done. You need to meet like those deadlines and just meet certain benchmarks. This is just how you become. It just makes you a stronger person also over time. I think for someone, if they don't get to this mode of thinking, if they're trying to be self-employed, be an entrepreneur, especially when you're living outside your home country, like in my case, you will not make it long term. Whether it's living abroad or being self-employed, eventually you'll have to find an employer because you won't be able to have the output necessary to create a certain lifestyle for yourself and or for family. That's kind of often how situations play out, I think. This is my outlook on this matter, but I look forward to your guys' feedback below. Thank you.